I was born in the Philippines. That's Pilar Abra, Philippines. And after that, I went to high school. And after high school, the war broke out. That was World War II. After that, then we uh, went to Hawaii before the Philippines was independent. I went to Hawaii and I was working in the Kahuku plantation in Oahu, Hawaii. And I worked my way up for about 5 years. And after that, after 5 years working in the plantation, I was drafted. And I was deferred for 3 years because my boss was the superintendent up there in that plantation. He deferred me, but when the war broke out in Korea, they cannot defer me because they need people to go to Korea. I trained in Schofield Barracks when I was drafted, about 3 months extensive training and combat training after that. And right after training, we were shipped out to the whole company was shipped out to Korea. Well, we first stopped in Camp Drake in Japan, just to get all our supplies, all our weapons and everything, and then they put us on a tatami boat, and a boat going to Korea. At that time, we were going to Korea and landed in Busan, in South Korea. And when we landed in there, we continuously out of the boat and we went straight to the train. And we didn't have no orientation because we already trained and warned that when we will be in the train, they will be firing. We went up towards Daegu, and on the train we were fired upon by the enemy already. And then when we went in Daegu, they were distributed to different units because the units up there were waiting for replacement. And we were the replacement that are ready to go, and they assigned me to a Company E of the 2nd Battalion of the 17th Infantry. And it's under the 7th Division. And we were already loaded and everything, go up north. And they told us to we were on attack for 25 days, or 25 miles at least. And we went straight 25 miles going forward, and we didn't hit no enemy, but about the 6th day we were already fired upon, so we stammered in there. And then we are told that the battalion commander said we are already surrounded. So we went back, and everybody has to scramble and ride on wherever they could ride. So we rode on. I was one of the one that rode on the tank, and we were climbing on the tank, going south, and the rest rode on a truck. The rest were just walking, but I was able to go on the tank. So when we went back, we regrouped, and after that we went forward again, and we went to the left, to the east side of Korea. I went through the hills in the east side, and I remember we went to a pork chop hill. There's a pork chop hill. We hit resistance in there, and I was then a squad leader because we don't have enough people. When I joined the outfit, we were only 6 on the squad where I was in, and a squad is comprised of 12 people. That's only half. And I was assigned as the squad leader already, and was promoted one rank. I was private, and then I was private first class, and then we went forward and stayed there on a hill, trying to defend that area, and then we went back because we were out of we were going to be relieved, and get change clothes and replenish our weapons, get refreshed and go to the shower and all that. And after we were all ready, we went back again to the hills, and we were defending that hill. Then we had to move forward up, and we ran into some resistance. And I was then promoted because we had resistance. We have only about 7 people left on our squad. So we have to go back and replenish, get more replacements. And I was sick up there, and I went back to the battalion medical outfit, for they had to give me some shots because I had pneumonia. So right after that, they sent me right back. So when I got back there, they said, "You are now promoted and get to be the platoon sergeant." So I was the platoon sergeant and leading the company. And then after that, because the lieutenants that come in from Fort Benning, that just fresh from training, they always get shot and hurt, and so every time a lieutenant come in as a platoon leader, he told me to go, "Okay, sergeant." I was sergeant then, and lead the platoon. So I lead the platoon all the time when we get be the attack. So and then after that, they promoted me as the platoon leader, acting as the lieutenant in there. So I took care of that platoon, and we were 30 in all, and we attacked up there in one of the hills. It's a small hill, and they told us our platoon to be the point man. So I had my people all ready going up the hill, and I remember the name. Hammond is my BAR man, and Isham was the bazooka man. So we went forward, and us good training, because we trained on the below where we were having our rest and recuperation. So we were there, and then all these grenades were rolling down the ground. Then because the enemy had all the grenades in the boxes, and they were all armed, and they were popping all over the place. And I see all my men there saying, "Medics." We were the point man. The pushman was holding the flag. We have a flag that is carried on the back, so the airplanes knows that that's the point of the attack. So the medics are hurt. So that's Isham. We got shot in the leg. So she went down, and all big trees up there, and I was beside him. So I called the medics to come and pick him up, and we went forward. And as we go up close to the hill, the BAR man, which is Hyman, you get the BAR man. He carries that BAR with all the ammunition and firing, because the bunker was right on the top where all this enemy were waiting for us. And then Hammond was shot. He was shot on the chest, and so he passed away. I got to call the medics and get him out in the back. And then I said, we need some replacement, reinforcement. And we have the radio, this ham radio that we have to communicate on the back. So they said, we will be coming. I think the C company is coming through. So the whole battalion, 2nd Battalion was on the back. They were the point man. Then finally, I had to get the BIR man, the weapons, and carry it myself because I was in second. There I was, and I said, I fired my the BIR man right across, and then the enemy just evacuated down the hill, and we captured the hill, and then as soon as we were on top of the hill, we displayed I told my people to just go to your sides, the sides as we are trained, and they all spread out, and we defended that hill, and then the whole company came in, and the battalion went through, and we spread out and hold that hill for at least 3 weeks. We cannot go anywhere forward because the enemy in the front they are there, a lot of them, and we have to call the Air Force to bomb them in there, and then how much? Oh, and then after that, we took the hill. We went back to pick up some more replacement, and we went back to the rear area where all the battalion is set up. But that was continuously fighting all the way. All these we have support like the 81 millimeters and the 60 millimeter mortars. All of us firing up there. We had to call the Air Force to bomb that place, and sometimes they come so close. And as soon as we have ready to go forward, I was ordered my platoon to go as a police patrol, and went down towards the enemy. They said, you will have to find out where the enemy are. So we went down, and we stayed there. We started in the morning, and we went forward, and then about noontime we hit the resistance, and I called radio back, and then they said, what do you need? Well, we need some support from the mortars, 60 mortars. We have around 60 mortars, or 60s, or maybe 55, whatever you could get. And we gave them the coordinates to the FO, and then they fired them on, and that's too far away. So we have to change the coordinates. And then I guess we gave them the coordinates, and then our own 60s were firing on us. And the trees were falling at there. And I said, hey, wait a minute, you're on top of us. Well, the enemy is right there across the clearing, and they're on the other side of the hill. So there's one hurt up there when they were from our own weapons. That's very bad. But we stayed there in a clump of trees, and snow was very thick, about 6 inches. So we have all our white uniforms, and we have to lay down in there. They cannot see us. But every time the enemy fires in there, you could see the snow splatter all over the place in there. And we stayed there. We cannot go any farther. We cannot get out of the clump of trees where we were displayed. And we stayed there until dark, because we cannot go back, because the enemy will have a higher ground than we do. We were in the valley, and they were in the hill. So after that, we went back. We have 200 men, but they were walking. So we went back to the hill where we were, and then the following day, we made the report. So the battalion commander said, we will send another company to go ahead and be the attack, and we'll go all follow them. So we all went there, but then when we got there, the Air Force did a very good job that all the enemies just, the bunkers were all flattened up, and they left, whoever was living there. We went, I rotated from Punchbowl. Then we went back for another month, I guess, because we need to get more people for replacement coming from the United States, as most of them are very young, just coming from high school. So I was then a platoon leader there, and every time we have replacements, we tell them to just dig their holes deep and wide, and we were on a hill. These replacements, about two young high school graduates that were there. They were trained, and then make sure you dig your holes. We set up the platoon CP and all that, and display the people on that hill. And then some people are not very. I was they were all tired climbing up the mountain. So when we dug up, I assigned everybody to dig their foxholes, and because by 4 o'clock they will come and spray the burp guns to us. So what happens is there's two of those guys that just slept on their sleeping bags right on top of the snow, because it was all snowing every time there, very cold, and then when the enemy come forward, and they sprayed their burp guns. They have burp guns, and when they were spraying, so they were yelling in there. They're in their sleeping bag. So they got shot and killed in there. So that's one of those lessons that everybody in the platoon learned. So we went forward again until we went to Punchbowl. That's after a month of recuperation. We were in Punchbowl, and we were the battalion front. This is the 2nd Battalion of the 17th Infantry. And that was already about a year I was there. Then I was promoted to Master Sergeant. And then they offered me to extend another year in there. But I said, no, I am single, I'm too young, I'm not married. I need to go home and, where I came from. So the rest of the people there, they said, oh, you should take it. No, because we heard some people there that were extending, because it's the war, they get killed before they get rotated. So I took the rotation. We went up the hill of Mount Baldy. They call that Punchbowl, and that's a very famous place where we stopped there and waited for the armistice. They were trying to get the armistice right overlooking the river on the 38th parallel. And then one day I was surprised. They called me, Mr. Sergeant, you have to come down. What do you mean come down? I have a job here to do. I don't have the replacement. Send a replacement. Well, we will send a replacement. Don't worry. You need to come down. No, I have to stay here because I have to lead the platoon. Nobody's taking care of the platoon. And we have a bunker there, big bunkers where we were set up. We were staying there waiting for armistice. And said, come down with all your gear, your weapon, and everything. That's the order of the battalion commander. So they didn't tell me what's for. Then I went down, and when I get there, okay, here are your clothes and everything. In the shower, we have a big shower that was made by the people in the rear. Those quartermaster people, that's their job. They are all showers in there for everybody. A whole battalion will shower. So they go down there and change clothes, take shower, and they, for what for? Don't you like to go home? They told me, oh yeah, I'm going, I like to go home. So I went there and take shower, and I turned in all my weapons and everything, and were ready. As continuously, we did no stops. We just said, okay, you're going back to the rear, and you're rotating with all. What are my orders? You don't have no orders. You get your orders when you'll get there. So they sent us back to the division, and there was an airplane waiting for us already, going back to Japan. So we went back to Japan, and when we went back to Camp Drake, which is the replacement center, they asked me, where do you live? Well, I live in Hawaii. Well, you are authorized for a 60-day rest and recuperation. So I said, okay, I like to go back to my mother and my relatives up there where I was born. And then, okay, we'll give you 60 days. They are very good in the army at that time because, we were all ragged. So they cut orders for me to go to the Philippines, and I stayed there for 60 days for some kind of a rest and recuperation, and meet my families up there that were behind. After that, I have orders to go to Camp Drake and back to California, Camp Stoneman. When I get to Camp Stoneman, I said, what are you going to do? You are already a master sergeant. Oh, I took to what do you think? You get discharged or what? No, I think I better re-enlist. So I re-enlisted as a master sergeant, and then they said to me, well, you are going to Camp Stoneman for further reassignment. And then in Camp Stoneman, they assigned me to go to Camp Breckenridge to join the 101st Airborne Division. So I was assigned the 101st Airborne Division, and after maybe a month, they said, well, the war is over, so what we'll do is we're gonna deactivate 101st, the whole division. They will reassign you to all different places. So we deactivated the 101st Airborne, and then they sent me to the 1st Armored Division in Fort Knox. And I was assigned as the training NCO and a first sergeant up there and I was a first sergeant for a while. And then I told them, I don't know about these tanks, but you send me to school. So they sent me for a month of school of the tanks. Those are the M48 tanks. And they let me take a test first if I'm qualified. And I took the test, and okay, you're qualified to go to the test. Because some people are flanking up there. So as soon as I finished the school, which is about nearly a month, we started from the jeeps and then trucks. And then when we finished those, we get examination. We pass it. Then we go to the tank. The tank then was an M48 A1. And these M48 A1s are the big M75, and those are the weapons that are inside the tanks. They are sophisticated already. So after that, okay, you are trained already. So we need somebody to go to a battalion of tanks up there in Fort Benning. Why? Well, you finished your course, so they need you up there in to train those people up there in Fort Benning, and that's the training area. So I went up there and I have a battalion of tanks. There's one company is about 25 tanks, and out of the whole battalion, I was in charge, and I stayed in the battalion service company. So after that, I said, what else? I need to go someplace. Why? This place, I stay here all night long, wait for the tanks that are broken down, and I cannot rest anymore. I cannot sleep. You know. Well, you're doing a good job because we did the training for the lieutenants up here that are graduating from the school, because that's a school for the officers candidate school. So I stayed there, wait for a while. No, I think, well, we have an opening. The G2 said, you come up here and take a test, and also fill up some applications to go a test and go to school. What school? Well, that's confidential. Do you have a confidential clearance? No, but I could fill up your application. I filled up all those applications, and they found out that my family is in the Philippines. So when I said, well, you cannot get a secret clearance for this. Where you're going to school is a secret one. So, well, I have a brother in Guam. Well, okay. Well, I will send some investigators and see if you could clear it. And then after a week, they come out with a interim clearance for it's not a secret, but it's interim clearance. So you could go to school, they will check you up there. So I came down here in Fort Bliss. Then when I got here, they sent us to that big building 2 there, and took a test. About 45 people in there of us. And there's some people didn't pass the test already, so they have to be sent back to the units. So I happened to finish the exam, and I passed the test, and they said, okay, you're going to school for the M38 anti-aircraft weapon. Okay, well, did you have a interim secret, so just go there first. Then when you finish that, then we'll go to a higher secret weapon. After I finished that, they sent me to Ajax, the Ajax muscle. So I went up there in Ajax, and at that time, they were finished investigating my records, and I got a secret clearance. So then I finished the Ajax. Okay, the Ajax now is going to be given to the National Guard. Then there's the Hawk weapon is the newest one, which is a low altitude weapon that will be able to get the airplanes that are low flying airplanes. That's why it's low altitude. When I finished that, about 32 weeks, and then okay, you will be assigned to the big missile. The missile there's another coming up, the Hercules. I've gone within a whole, nearly a whole year. I've been going to school, and they said, "Oh, well, are you trained already with the electronics? Yeah. Well, all you need is a repressor, so you'll be assigned in the Abernathy Park to have the Hercules weapon there. Yeah, I need to go to the radar school. No, well, I have to go to school. And they said, no. Then they changed my orders. They told me you have to go to building 2. There's a colonel there that wanted you to be running the uh, Team C's of the instructor course for the uh, foreign students. They were getting foreign students up there in Building 2. So well, first of all, you have to send you to school for the instructor course. So you will be certified as an instructor. So they sent me to school for 2 weeks. After the 2 weeks, I passed the course, and then went back to Building 2, and they said, well, you have to, your rank is a Master Sergeant. We cannot let you be instructing in there. All the civilians will take care of that. They will great. You have to be running the whole Building 2 Wing C. So I was assigned with Dr. Tomlinson. I mean, Colonel Colonel Tomlinson, and Colonel Tomlinson said, "Okay, you are in the Team B, and you schedule all your instructors up there." So I stayed there for a long time, and then after that, they need me to go to another school. I went to school in. No, I went back to Korea. That's 1960. We have a battalion of Hawks. You are trained in the Hawk. So we went to train again in the desert, and after firing our weapons up there in McGregor Range, that we were successful. We loaded all the Hawk weapons battalions in the train, and we were going to Korea as a whole battalion because they didn't have no air defense up there in Korea. So we went to Korea, and with the whole battalion, the all weapons will be shipped in the port in Beaumont, I guess. I don't know where they shipped it, but they said, "Don't worry, you will be going down there. Your weapons will be there when you get there." So we went up to hill up there in Chongchan, someplace there, and I was assigned to a battery, a sea battery, that we were in the hill and manned the Hawk weapons in there. The other rest of the battalion I assigned to different hills. We don't know because the Korea is very big also. They're all in the mountains. And I stayed there for a year. And then when I finished my tour in Korea, again, that's 1 year, I came home, and then I was assigned to the unit where they were training the firing of weapons up there in McGregor Range. So I just stayed there for as a evaluator. All I need was get me a clipboard and evaluate the instructors because they know I was a chief instructor up there in Building 2. So I was evaluating all the instructors up there in the firing range of the all these. After evaluating those people, another year I guess is I stayed there evaluating those people. Then they said, "Oh, we'll need people to go to school." Where? Because you are trained already, you know everything. So you go to Aberdeen proving ground. What is this? I've been going to school all this time. Okay, we'll go to school for another 3 months in there. What is this? Well, this will be because they need that in very bad, and the war in Vietnam started, so we need people to go to that school to be trained and calibrate all the instrumentations of all the units that are high sophisticated weapons, they said. So we went there 3 months. I finished my course in there successfully. And then we were assigned to a company that went to Okinawa when the war in Vietnam was going on. So I was also a calibration already, certified calibrator. And we went to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam twice just to calibrate the weapons, the instrumentation of the helicopters and the Hawk missiles and the other units that have sophisticated weapons, and the people that have all those instrumentation that needed to get the firing FOs and all that. But we stayed there for 3 months. Then I went back to Okinawa, and after that they sent me to Taipei, because they have Hercules up there, and the Chinese have both weapons, the Hawk and all that. So we calibrated the weapons of the Chinese people. We calibrated their weapons that are used to calibrate the radars, and we stayed there for another 3 months, then went back to, and then after we went back to Vietnam again, did the same thing. So after I finished my tour, which is 3 years in Okinawa, when we got back, I went back to the same job I have in building to the chief instructors. And then after another 3 years in there, they said they need somebody to be in the big weapons that are going to Europe. Well, I don't know about those weapons. What are those big weapons? So I went up there, and they assigned me to to Europe, and stayed in Europe. There I was in a battalion where they have all these big intercontinental missiles, and I was not involved in the weapons because I was first sergeant, so I was always in the office. And when they go training, I don't even go there training. I just stayed in my office to take care of the paperwork and everything. Morning reports has to be in every day to Washington D.C. and all that. So I was in a very good situation, because in Europe is very cold also, snow and all that. So after I was assigned in the big weapons that we have up there, we went to the Hercules in the mountains in Dalaw, close to Heidelberg. That is a company that is assigned to defend Heidelberg, even in case we have an attack. So I had to run that company and be the first sergeant, and I have Captain Khan as the captain. So I stayed there for another 3 years in Germany. And then I rotated in United States. I said I have to retire. That was already 1972. And I said, why? You are going to school. What school? I've been going to school all my life in the army. You are going to the Sergeant Major School in Biggs Air Force Base. Oh no, I'm going to retire because my family needs me. My wife is very sick. She's now in the hospital because she had problems with running the family, because I have 4 children and they were all teenagers, and they have problems controlling them. So you, I have to retire because my wife is already exhausted trying to get the children straightened out. And so I said, okay, you are going to White Sands Proving Ground. White Sands Proving Ground, for what? We need people to, because you were trained as a calibration man, you go down there and wait for your retirement orders and stay with that calibration team up there to calibrate those instruments that are used for firing in White Sands. So I stayed there, wait another month, and then, okay, you come back to Port Bliss, your orders to retire. You're going to retire. Okay, I retired as a first sergeant, E8. And after that, I said, I'm going to school. But, oh no, we are going to send you to Kwajalein. So I went to Kwajalein for another 18 months after retirement. And so I worked there in Kwajalein with the SOS project. The SOS is intercontinental missile that will reach up to Russia. And I stayed there for 18 months. And after that, I said, oh no, we are going to the Amtrak. After I finished there, Amtrak, they are building the Amtrak. I don't have nothing to do with the Amtrak. That's a train. Yeah, that's a new train. They have instrumentation in there that you need to take care. Oh no. So I better go to school. So I went to school for 4 years in Colorado Springs. I'm retired already, so they said, okay, you'll get a GI Bill. You don't have to worry. You take a test, and if you pass the test, then we'll send you. But if you don't pass the test, you have to pick another course. I picked the biomedical course. So, okay, you passed that test. You're accepted in Colorado Springs. So I went in Colorado Springs and went to school there for 4 years. Before I graduated, they were going to hire me in Los Alamos in New Mexico, or that nuclear weapons area is. Oh, I don't like to go to. I like to go serve with my specialty because I have 2 degrees. I have a bachelor's of biomedical engineering, and I was also on electronic engineering. So I have 2, so I didn't have to worry they're gonna get me on. So they said, okay, we have a job in Dallas Fort Worth. What is that? You'll be a controller. Oh no, I didn't say any controller. I don't like to be directing airplanes like that. You're not going to do that. You'll be just making sure that the instrumentations those are electronic, be calibrated and precision, so there will be no problems with the controller or just directing the airplanes. No, I don't like that. I have to go to my specialty where I train. What is it? Biomedical engineering. Okay, you go to White Sands. They need an engineer up there. No, that's not I need to go to a hospital. So, well, we don't have a hospital that has such. So I went to, it was the university hospital downtown used to be Thomason. So I went to Thomason for another week for the biomedical engineering then. I was in a biomed. So I worked there, and suddenly they called me, there's an opening for a GS9 government service going to Dallas. Do you want to go to Dallas? I have the family here, but I hate to go there. No, you'll have a good job there because you'll be in biomedical engineering. That Dallas BA has 900 beds, very big. So you'll be an engineer up there. So I went up there in Dallas and stayed when my daughter, who was already in Dallas, and that was the time when we have a shortage of fuel.
Mark, I'm sorry, we're almost out of time. The next person is coming. Can you tell me the dates of when you went to Korea and when you came home? I don't think I got those earlier.
How many days?
The dates. When did you
Oh,
depart and when
I
did
went
you
to
return?
Korea, finished training in Schofield Barracks in Hawaii, and we shipped out on December, and we went to Japan, and from Japan was February of 1951, and we went right to Busan, and from there we were in combat.
And when did you
And
return?
then when I come back, that was in April of 1952. Then 52, and I stayed there for a little about 13 months or 12 months in Korea.
And what unit were you a part of?
E Company, 2nd Battalion of the 17th Infantry, and under the 7th Division, which is the 7th Division is this one, and right there. It's hourglass. And that was the short period, very short period, because we were always on the mountains. We never got time to see anything but just take care of our weapons and ready to be fighting all the time that whole year. I don't know about Korea very well until I went back in the 1960, and we had time to go around for. I stayed there for another year. It was developed already. Korea is developed already.
And before we finish, is there any piece of wisdom or a message that you could impart to younger generations?
My advice is they have to be themselves and be heroes, courteous, and they have to show their love of their country, because this is the place where there's a free nation, and everything is free, and I believe this is a nation, but because I was an immigrant, and I know that this is a country of opportunity, and I did take advantage for that, because at present I am very happy because my 4 children were all went through the college and got their degrees, and one is a PhD, a doctor. So I'm proud of that. So everybody should go after education.